Art block can be a pain, so this video isn't about great art. I just want to show you what helps me and I hope that it can help you to get going too. I take a few magazines from our waste paper bin. Any subject is okay. I simply tear it into long strips. It's fun and it feels great, but the main goal is something completely different. More about it in a second. Hi there, my name is Albert van der Zwart. Welcome to Imperfect Paintings, inspiring you to embrace the magic of making art. Paper tearing is one of my ways out. I trick my controlling mind or my internal negative stream of thoughts by doing something not necessarily artsy. At this moment, I still can read the text and recognize faces, what distracts me. So I turn the strips counterclockwise. I spread out the pieces a bit to see what I have. Some time ago I bought a few fancy looking passepartouts on sale. In case you don't have them, I make my own as well. Just a sheet and a square opening. Or perhaps make a round one. Besides focusing on a smaller part, using a passepartout can also help to make a situation like this look less overwhelming. It shows a different view or perspective at the situation. Now quickly 6 other ways to tear a magazine in pieces. I cut away a small section with staples in it. This time I turn the magazine and tear horizontal strips and turn over 2 of them because both sides of the paper can be interesting. I spread some out and put away the rest. A new sheet and a TV and radio guide. I open it at random pages, ignore what's printed on them and take them out completely or partially and put them down only horizontally and vertically, creating a square-like field on my sheet. While watching this video, try to think of other ways to tear up a magazine. What would you do? Share your ideas in the comments down below. The next one is a magazine from a pension fund. I tear it in 4 random parts and put down each piece until the whole magazine is on the sheet in overlapping layers. Did you notice that each time I take a new magazine, I automatically turn it like I want to start reading? Habits are often hard to break, so be easy on yourself. Noticing your habits can help to change them and who knows, get you going again. Last week it was Easter and each supermarket chain produced a fancy looking magazine like this. I tear a piece and stop. Just look at that, beautiful tear edges. It's exactly a surprise like this that proves my point of just start doing, my personal mantra. Do anything, like tearing a magazine into pieces. Not to create, but to do just anything. Doing always brings me something. Like now, I deeply believe that being creative is about doing and whatever comes out is sequential, at least in my case. And only by doing, taking a next step, following my next idea, I can move forward. Or take a turn and try something else. Oh, and please have fun. I prefer to approach almost anything with a childlike enthusiasm or wonder. And a new sheet and a Saturday supplement of our newspaper. I notice different colored pages and I take out only the colors which speak to me at this moment. I just gather them and put them down without looking. Another newspaper, another supplement. I hesitate a second what to do, so I open up to what catches my eye and I notice the contrast of the white text on the black background on this page. I browse for headlines, quotes and nice blocks of text. And before I know it, 4 minutes into this video, I now tore 7 different magazines in 7 different ways and created 7 sheets full of paper pieces to continue in 7 different ways, without touching paint or whatever. Back to the first sheet. I take a passepartout and look for an interesting composition and choose this one. I take my pile of leftovers, I always save for a few days before throwing them away. I look for similar colors, not identical, but similar. Cut out pieces and try to recreate the composition. Not perfectly, but more the idea of it. I know it doesn't all look like rocket science, but keep the purpose of this video in mind, to get going again in a situation when blocked, or having no idea how to proceed. Working on a smaller sheet, 10 by 15 centimeters instead of 50 by 65 I normally use, or any smaller sized sheet can also be helpful. Change routines, remember? A few days ago Claire contacted me, not knowing how or what to paint or do. I suggested her to tear up a magazine, take a picture and send it to me. And this is what she made. Not a painting, but just some pieces of paper. She liked the look of it. The next day she sent this one. A photoshopped version of it. Amazing. It turned out she knows her way around in Photoshop professionally, so this is an easy routine for her. What I notice in this next one are darker spots in a white surrounding. I often look through my eyelashes with almost closed eyes to see the contrast in an artwork. Press pause and try it. To me, in a way it feels like turning a colored one into black and white, now a filter over it and a second filter. But it's way easier to just almost close your eyes. So a new sheet, some Prussian blue and a 40mm brush. I keep one eye on the paper collage and try to roughly recreate what I see. Not that great, so I take a credit card and go over it again. This looks more interesting to me. When dry, I can take a Passepartout to look at details, but using my phone will also reveal details. In case you like these bits here and there, link up here for a video about mark making. What to do with this one? I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, so I grab one of the pieces and make a wad of it. And a second one. It triggers me to think of other ways to make a wad, so I turn my hands and fold the next one. Or whatever. In between I look up for a second at the small screen of my camera and see it looks like a composition. So I play a little and create my first wad composition. What? A wad composition. But a wad can be interesting under glass. It changes the shape and look of it. It's flexible and looks interesting. But when taking the glass away, I can use it as a stencil to create a random shape. Do you have an idea for the next step? I suggest to Claire to paint a number of sheets, each in one color. When dry, cut them up and create a composition this way. She made this one, mentioning it took so long to paint, to dry, to cut and to create interesting shapes. A day later she sent me this one, a nice variation of her handmade one, now altered on her computer. But she mentions it is also fun to work in a different way. There are always multiple ways to get somewhere. Same image, different way of working, different outcome, different feel. On this sheet I put down the whole magazine in multiple layers, but only a few pieces are really on top. So I take a second sheet and transplant the top pieces to the new sheet. While doing, new pieces are now lying on top. Interesting process. How far will I go? So I take a few more. It still looks like nothing. Suddenly I remember seeing this picture, made by a badger researcher, an endangered species in my country. It shows a snowy meadow surrounded by hedges and the seemingly random trails created by a badger while searching for food. So I take my paint again to see if I can make some random trails following the edges of the pieces of paper. Now a new sheet on top of it and I try to make a print. When I lift the paper, I see all pieces stick to the sheet. Oh man, what a mess. But the print looks funny. A bit like a lost treasure map. In case you like the idea, link up here for a video where I take it up a notch. The next sheet is the one with all the colorful pieces of paper. I actually love them as they are and don't necessarily need more. I look for a nice one spot and think of framing it. I take a small frame, slide my cutting pad underneath the big sheet and plow through all the layers of paper, hoping I don't mess up. A few minutes later I can look at my lovely colored torn paper. For these colorful pages I take a 5 by 5 cm piece and look for interesting spots and cut out a single colored part. I collect them and simply put them down. It's a great way to see what colors will go well together, or to switch and put them down from light to dark. Perhaps interesting to gather some more and to keep them for future projects. Here's the black and white text one. Without much observation I take these fine liners in different sizes from a local discount shop, only €2. I take a 15 by 20 cm piece and just start. And already the second one doesn't work. Uh-oh. I often go for the cheapest stuff to try it out. Apparently sometimes too cheap. This looks a bit like Zentangle for absolute beginners. And you're correct, it's my first time. And who says I can't add another color, or paint, or a pencil? By now you probably get that my message is keep it simple. In case you like some more in the category, just click on the link and I will see you over there in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.